Markets are crashing, and we hear about news that this is because supposedly there was a Bitcoin double spend. And this supposedly means the Bitcoin network is not secure. Let's take a deeper look in today's video and kind of ask ourselves, is it actually true or is this just fake news? Hint, it is. But then let's also take a look at what actually made the market crash. And are these events caused or by each other or just correlated? Take a look. I'll have a lot of fun with today's video. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, most of all Bitcoin. Today, we're going to discuss it pretty much as a whole because the crypto markets are tanking and people are blaming a bug in Bitcoin. And I want to address this. But before, if you're new, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon. I talk about these topics almost on a daily basis. You don't want to miss this stuff. I go at it at a very rational, common sense kind of style. No hypey, no kind of scammy way. So that's just really, really important if you want to stay informed. And hey, if you're back, then welcome. I appreciate it, all the support. Click the upvote button. If you want the markets to go back up, this is your chance. We need the pump. So I hope you support it. Click the like or upvote button and let's hope it translates into the markets. So let's go into the video. What actually happened? Well, obviously markets are down. This is one thing. But then BitMEX came out and reported, and I've linked this up down below. So you can see actually the tweet. BitMEX, one of the largest trading platforms, came out and said that there was a small Bitcoin fork, and they called it as this at the beginning. Then they said this was actually a stale block. We're going to discuss what this actually means. And then they said that there might have been a double spend. They then returned and said, actually, this was not the case. This was the double spend just was in the stale block, completely normal occurrence. But this is not what the news sites picked up. Cointelegraph was the first one, but then also CoinDesk, but CoinDesk then actually corrected it. But the news, as the news is, they pick up completely false stories, any kind of rumor, and just try to spin a story out of it. And in this case, and I've linked up the Cointelegraph article as well. They talk about Bitcoin double spend happening. Is this the end of Bitcoin? And in the article, to me, this is just insane. On the one hand, they do quote the BitMEX tweets, but they completely leave out the very end of it, where they actually say it is a total normal occurrence and no double spend happened. And then on top of that, they go to a Bitcoin Satoshi Visions expert, obviously someone who's completely against Bitcoin, normal Bitcoin, and quote him in saying, yeah, it was just about 12 cents or something, but it could have been about $22 million. This is the end of Bitcoin. Well, before going into what actually happened, the markets at the same time are crashing, and obviously all the news outlets, and this is now where it gets crazy. You have Bloomberg and you have Business Insider, all of them love to pick up this story. It just shows how scammy and how fake the media is. They just run with anything that creates clicks, they run with, and they all talk about Bitcoin crashing because of a Bitcoin double spend. There is a bug in the code. And it's just insane how the news is not capable. And let's say it this way. A lot of the news is capable, but some of the news is just completely incapable. And on purpose, they kind of misuse those things and spin a story out of something that's absolutely nothing. And so they talk about how, well, this faulty Bitcoin code and how Bitcoin is pretty much dead caused the crash. It's actually not the case. The setbacks that we see in Bitcoin are absolutely expected. I think there's absolutely no surprise that we see those 20% setbacks. And especially right now in times where it's also expected that we see some consolidation. There shouldn't be any surprise. And the answer to why is the market tanking is, well, because people are taking profits. There is consolidation. There's nothing extraordinary about what's happening right now. So anyone that's sitting there and be like, why is the market tanking? Dude, just look 2016, 2017. The markets do this on a regular basis. The markets go up and then it corrects. Just for the fact here, right? Look at year to date. Year to date, the market Bitcoin has been up on average 0.5% every single day. And so that means we're up a bit over 10% year to date in Bitcoin. Show me another asset class that's up that much, that's $100 billion or more. Well, hint, there is none. So if in doubt, zoom out. It's as simple. And you can look at most cryptocurrencies. DeFi chain, my second largest holding, I think is up over 2% every single day, year to date. Ethereum, my third largest holding, also in the plus, like on average, right? But people are talking about Bitcoin and crypto being in a bear market. To me, it's just laughable and just shows how idiotic this mainstream media is out there and how idiotic also people are who don't think. It's just unbelievable. So to me, this absolutely just correlated, not caused by each other, right? This is key. And the other thing, it's just a normal occurrence. It's normal when markets go up heavily, that people take profits. It's totally normal. And just look up the numbers. A 20% correction in Bitcoin is absolutely nothing, right? So just keep this in mind. So to kind of put this out of the way, and I'm going to answer then where do I think the markets are going, let's kind of look at what really happened, right? Let's look at the fundamentals. Bitcoin mining means you need to solve a mathematical puzzle by reversing a hash. And this takes quite some effort because you need to try. And on average, every 10 minutes, someone in the Bitcoin ecosystem succeeds. And that person has the right to compose the transactions in a block. So that person is the person who can say, this is what the transaction block looks like, and broadcasts that to everyone. Every once in a while, right? This happens quite rare, but it happens every once in a while. Two parties at the same time find a solution. And it's not the same solution because everyone can there's various solutions, right? So two parties find a solution at the same time and they start broadcasting that. Now here's where it gets interesting. Obviously, when you have that, in general, the same transactions or similar composition of transactions has to be included. So what normally happens, one block then becomes a so-called stale block because it's going to be the block that the majority of the network rejects, and they just pick the other block. And then nothing happens. It happens every once in a while. It's called a stale block. It just gets discarded, and the transactions who were in there either get included already in the other block, or they get discarded in the get included in the next block. Now, what happened in this case, and this was actually super special, someone sent a transaction, and this transaction was included in the one block. And then this person did a so-called replace by fee. You can do this. You can actually alter your transaction before it's actually included in a block, and it wasn't included yet. And he changed that and altered the transaction, still sending to the same recipient, but altered the amount. And now coincidentally, the very first transaction got included here, the second one got included here, but because they never actually got included into the blockchain at the same time, it was impossible for anyone to reject this, because as soon as the next block, they would have rejected if both of those transactions would have been included, because that would have been a double spend. And the media runs with the story because the transaction is included here, and the transaction was included in the stale block, so the block that got discarded, they call this a double spend. Absolutely nonsensical, and it just shows how either the media has no clue or on purpose they try to spread misinformation in order to hurt Bitcoin or to just create clicks. And it's just crazy. BitMEX then went out to clarify that their research and their statement had nothing to do about a double spend. They just tried to display the facts, and that's what they did. But it was the media who then ran with a super idiotic story. And yeah, that's just crazy. But at least you have the facts. So basically what happened, it was a transaction that was altered. It was included in the stale block, and then people thought it was a double spend. It was absolutely not a double spend. This is a normal occurrence. The only thing that was quite rare was that these two transactions, one that replaced the other one, got included in the other block. And so it looked like a double spend, but you can already see from the intention from the person, because both transactions were to the same recipient, that it would have made no sense to do a double spend that way. And by no means was a double spend ever included. So that's really, really important, and I hope you understand it. So with all this, where do I think Bitcoin is going? What does this mean for the markets? Well, I think in a bull market, and heck, if you don't see that we're in a bull market, then you're just listening to some idiots out there. Come on. We are up 10% year to date in Bitcoin alone. We are in a bull market. And in bull markets, dips are there to be either hodled or if you got cash on the sidelines, to be bought. Anything else, you don't understand which market we're in, right? Once we can talk about longer time frames, once we can talk about months, not hours or days, and then we start seeing negative trends, then we can discuss that we're in a bear market. But by no means are we in a bear market right now. So please don't listen to people out there, but understand that these dips are there all the time. They are about consolidation, and in the long run, we're in a super, super, super bullish scenario. So I hope this clarifies what happened. If you still have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this stuff, thumbs up, follow the channel, and then I'll see you next time. With this, thanks so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.